अभी हिंदी में सत्संग करेंगे. Dear brother Shalin, you want to come forward? You're okay? Okay. पहले मैं शुरुआत इससे करूँगा. कृपाल सिंह महाराज left his physical body on 21st August 1974. It's almost like 39 years ago. And his memory is still in my heart and for a lot of other his followers. He wrote one of the poetry when he lost his guru, Baba Sawansi Maharaj. And that time, the place where he served for over 25 years, and how this politics comes in. When he was serving, he was assigned to do his duty, and a lot of people resisted. So he quietly left everything, his personal belonging and everything, and went to Rishikesh. And for here, he was there for 6 months, meditating every day, 18 to 20 hours. On Ganges, I'll show you the picture. Ganga, big rock where barely you can sit for 2 minutes. It's a ridge, like age, you know. He was sitting on that for 18 hours, 20 hours. And before that, he wrote this poetry when he heard his master had left. Very uplifting. He says how it changes, and anybody has in their life experience where you have lost your loved one, there is a pain of separation, and that pain in the path of bhakti we call it viraha. And viraha is a good quality because it creates the vairagya. You get detached from the other things and you slow but steadily attach to the higher things. And that's the part of things is required in spiritual field. It's not like that means you give up your worldly responsibilities or family, nothing like that. It's inner detachment. You still love them, you do your duties, you do everything fine, but at the same time, there is a longing for Paramatma or Guru Darshan. And that is that state of viraha helps us to unite or have the Prabhu Darshan. And it's, you study in any saint or Mahatma's life, they all been through that. So here Kripal Singh Maharaj has written, and I'll sing, and first I'll sing. It's little high level of Urdu, so I'll explain. जिंदगी अब हो गई बारे गरा तेरे बगैर आज नाकारा है मेरी रूहों चांद तेरे बगैर. Beautiful meaning, तेरे बगैर, without you. My life has become a kind of burden. It's difficult to live because you are not with me or I'm not with you. That separation, feel of separation. Then next thing it says, आज नाकारा है मेरी रूहों और जा तेरे बगैर. Even my own existence, I know it's there forever, but still I am not that happy or blissful because you are not with me. Then it says, all these people used to love me, because this is now he's saying his personal experience. When he was serving 25 years, he was respected and everybody loved him. But then all politics came in and some people wanted to kick him out. And so now that in second line he says, आपकी नजरों के फिरते ही खुदाई फिर गई मेहरबा भी हो गए ना मेहरबा तेरे बगैर. Those all used to love me, now they don't like me anymore. Means some, not all, but that's his expression he's saying. Then next thing he said about his personal, देख इस मंजिल पे लाके अब मुझे तन्हा न छोड़, देख इस मंजिल पे लाके, अब मुझे तन्हा न छोड़, उम्र सारी जाएगी, ए रोएगा तेरे बगैर, उम्र सारी जाएगी, ए रोएगा तेरे बगैर। मेरे रोने का सिर्फ एक ही इलाज है, आप आ जाओ हमारी जिंदगी में। And you help me to reach this far. Now don't stop helping me to go beyond. And that's his sincere prayer. अब एक मुद्दत से बेरौनक है मेरी दुनिया, एक मुद्दत से बेरौनक है मेरी दुनिया, पहली सी जज्बात में शौकी कहा तेरे बगैर। My life has become meaningless. It's so difficult to carry on. And whatever I used to enjoy before, your satsangs, going on different tours, or whatever you're saying, like if any problem, I run to you and you show me. So all these things I miss. And my life, the joy was whatever was there is no longer there. It's again sign of separation. Now the last thing he says, the spiritual secret. He says, राज़े उल्फत फाश न हो जाए, ना यूं देख अब कहीं, वरना थी मालूम किसको दास्तां तेरे बगैर। There is a secret between you and me, that you are part of me. Now he is addressing to Guru or Supreme Guru, which is Paramatma, that I was part of you, I am living in you and you are living in me. That's the real secret. I have experienced that, so you better be with me. And राज़े उल्फत फाश न हो जाए, ना देख अब यूं कहीं, do not try to leave me or go, because you can't go anywhere. Surdas has beautifully mentioned that when Surdas, as you know, he was blind physically, but his inner eye was open. He was able to see Krishna and all that beautiful his content. And one Surdas was walking, and there was an open well, and he was about to fall in that well. So Balkrishna or Mukunda comes in, he holds his hand, and he takes him away from the well, and then now he brings him on the path and disappears. So Surdas has said something, I don't remember exact stanza, but he says, if you are that brave, you can leave my hand and leave, but if you are that brave, try to leave from my heart. You can't. And that's the sign of love. Once you enter in that closeness, there is no way. But this is just the external way of saying. So at end he says, राज़े उल्फत फाश ना हो जाए, ना अब देख यूं कहीं, वरना मालूम थी किसको दास्ता तेरे बगैर. I really didn't know what is the pain of separation is until I lost you physically. And he always used to say, physically I wish whatever I have I will give just to see him. And believe it or not, in his ashram, his guru used to bring, when he started on his own on New Delhi, Savan ashram, after his guru's name, he was from Bas, and from Bas he left, he came to New Delhi after Rishikesh trip, because his master told him to start from New Delhi. So when he started, the Huzur Baba Sawan Singh, even if he's not in physically, people have witnessed, he will bring, either आओ कुछ आत्मा का कल्याण करो सत्संग को, that, and they will bring to his satsang And then people, after talking to Kirpal, they will ask, where is that old man? He brought us here and he was so nice. So Kirpal will say, what old man? And they will describe, like, his long beard and slim and having a stick in his hand. And he says, this is all my master's grace. That's the one, he's helping you. And with this twist, now we'll talk a little bit about bhakti. Because three paths. Jnana Marg, which is essential, but that's why Bhagavan Krishna put the Gyan. Immediate after Arjuna Vishad Yoga comes the Sankhya Yoga or Gyan Yoga. And I think that sequence has some meaning. Because Jnana, you have to have a little bit understanding what's going on in the life. I'm deliberately speaking in English because I know Achyut won't understand Hindi. And he's attentively listening to me, so I want him to understand. Okay, Achyut?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Right. So, path of knowledge is great, but we need that. But that itself is not enough though. Because we need the beautiful combination of these three things. There are three ways to reach to Paramatma. Path of knowledge, which called Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga. Then he talks about Karma Yoga as doing the good deed. And then in the middle, he brings the Bhakti Yoga on the 12th chapter. So we'll talk about this Bhakti. Little bit understanding is required, even if you haven't had the experience, that yes, there has to be something bigger than us exist, which has created this world, which is maintaining this world. That power was with us before we enter in this world, is sustaining us, and is going to be with us even if we leave this world. So if you try to create that little mental understanding, intellectual understanding, not necessarily mystical yet, because experience base comes through bhakti and karma and this all combination of Triveni. We call Trivenika Sangam. In India, wherever three rivers meet, they call Triveni Sangam. So that three rivers are a symbolism for the three paths of the God realization or Paramatma Darshan. So it's Jnana, Bhakti, and Karma. The Karma is in between. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Bhakti. Believe me, everyone is Bhakt. Everyone is attached to somewhere. Look at how much we are attached to Moti, how much we are attached to our kids, how much we are attached to our profession and job or family. That is like, there is not a one soul you will see doesn't have the attachment. That attachment, in the worldly attachment they call moha. So Kirpal Singh Maharaj will call is a misfit love, is moha. He's not saying we should not love our parents, we should not love our family. He says yes, we should, but knowing that these relationships are temporary. Our real relationship is Atmic. We are really connected, permanent, eternal connection is through Atma. The body connection, mind connections are temporary. So if we understand that, that will give us some more stability. So in the part of the bhakti, the Kanishta part of the bhakti is this way. First, let's say your friends on equal level, samakakshi prem, on equal level, like your friends, Krupa. Because how you love your friends and respect, because in that there is your ego is not hurt. If somebody mistreats you, you can just cut them off. You don't, because your ego is not disturbed, and you can maintain that relationship on the friendship. But then there is another relationship you see is a lower thing. Somebody is lower than you in age or understanding, or your little sibling, and when you take care of them, or your children, so now your ego is pampered in that area, because they always comes to you, mommy, show me, mommy shows that, or daddy, this. So that relationship is also a part of the reflection of the bhakti or attachment. But on that level, your ego is always boosting, is coming up. Because you always do something, create something, show them or teach them. So that second relationship. And these two relationships cannot take you towards God. The reason is they are both are egocentric, or ego is fulfilled. In relationship, if somebody does not treat you properly, your ego is hurt, so you have argument, you have a fight, and divisions, and all kinds of things. So is there any solution to that? So Narad, Bhagwan Narad, has done the Narad Bhakti Sutra. Dakshesh has given me some tapes from Acharya Rajneesh. Now, a lot of people don't like him because of his own track record and whatever other things happen. But if you bypass that and just listen, you will enjoy what he's saying. We as a human, we try to judge. And sometimes to gain something, we have to let go that judgment and open our heart and see. And if you find something like a Hamsvrutti, you absorb that. So in Narad Bhakti Sutra, Naradji says, yes, in these two relationships, there is only two options. Either you let go or you go. Like suppose I had a fight with my wife, and her ego is coming strong, my ego is coming strong, there is a clash, it's not going to be real love. So one of the person has to let go, so the other person's ego flourishes, and other learns to let go, or surrender, or compromise, or whatever terms you want to use. So in that relation, that clash is always going to be there. So when our attachment is towards the material, there is no clash. There is attachment, there will be pain and sorrow, but there is no clash, because this camera cannot have the ego which is going to clash with me. Right? It is a jad. So I can, even this will boost my ego by showing, hey, look at that, I have Rolex, I had BMW, I have this. The more material gain, it will boost my ego, but it will never hurt my ego, the material itself. So you had the choice to keep on loving the material thing, and your ego will never get disturbed. On the contrary, it will get strong. Or the second step we do is to come from the material thing, we start loving the living things. Jivant Vastu, which is a human, animal, whatever, everything living. Then the problem starts. Because in living, I have my ego, Madhvi has her own. As long as we both meet each other, that's fine. And if I say something which hurts her ego or disturbs her, thinks something which she didn't like it, there is a clash. So the problem happens as you develop your attachment from material to human. You think like you will have more pain, more happiness and more joy. It just goes the other way around. Because each person has their own expectation, their own way of thinking, own way of living, and when they don't fulfill, there is a clash. So Bhagavan, Narad Bhagavan, or Naradji, comes and there is another way. Because in this two human ego, one has to surrender. So he said, no, you don't have to. There is a third way of bhakti is there. And what is that third bhakti? Is he says, you find, see first you equal level, then down level. Now Naradji says you find the same prem in something better than you, higher than you, and you attach to that. That is what we call Shraddha. That is what we call a divine love, a little bit faith. That faith is so essential in life, because our real spiritual journey begins once we start cultivating that faith. Because on other relationships there is a clash. Never doubt. Look at your life, look at anybody's life. Some will have more, some will have less, but there will be some strain. But the moment you put your same love in the higher power, it could be Guru, your Ishtadev, living, past master, doesn't matter. As long as you put somewhere which is better than you, higher than you respect them, you trust them, your spiritual journey begins. So that's the Shraddha comes out of that. And that once you start nurturing the Shraddha, you learn the art of let go your ego, let go your expectation, let go your judgment. Jo tuj bhave nanka, hukum sohi parwan. I like it, whatever you do. Means you are trusting that higher power. I try to do everything good, but somebody turns totally against me and start cursing me or talking bad thing about me. I also see that under your divine will. And I accept it without any resistance. Total acceptance without any resistance, it is a sign of faith. Faith in the higher power. And that is the start. Narad Bhakti Sutra says the Shraddha is a beginning stage of the spiritual journey. And that Shraddha gets so strong, so it takes you towards the Apara Bhakti and Para Bhakti. The Para Bhakti is the highest form of the Bhakti, where Bhakta, Bhagwan and Bhakti, three becomes one. You cannot separate one from the other. That is the ultimate goal of Bhakti, Para Bhakti. There are a lot of references in our literature about Bhakti. The first is Shandilya Bhakti, which I never read or anything, but I heard it's very complicated. There are so many commentaries to understand, it's hard. Then comes the Bhakti by Prahlad, Navda Bhakti. It's beautiful. We will explain that if time permits a little bit about Navda Bhakti. Then comes another thing, Ramcharitmanas or in Valmiki Ramayana, the Navda Bhakti done by Ram and Shabri. That's also very, very easy to understand. And if you take any one part of that, like Satsang, Sadhu Seva, Mantra Smaran, any one part you take, believe me, all 9 factors will follow you. They will come automatically. So that Navda Bhakti, then Naradjit's, this Narad Bhakti Stotra, and Bhagavad is the ultimate of the Bhakti. Bhagavad. There is all kind of references. So the ultimate goal of Bhakti is to be one with Paramatma. Paramatma, you are all that 25% free will or mind, it becomes Paramatma's will. You have your separate ego, because 25% free will is your ego. That ego is the one keeps you separate from the God. And the more and more you go, you think like the power who is taking care of the entire universe does not know your need and won't take care of you. That will. The more and more that faith comes on you, you are more and more relaxed. Look at the life of all sadhu, sant, mahatma. The difficulties also came in their life. Left and right? Unbelievable difficulties. But with the bhakti, charam sima, that all difficulties becomes for them is like a game. It's like something is just happening. You are watching the game. And you deal with that. So now let's touch base with a little bit on Navda Bhakti. Navda Bhakti says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Shravan. In our Shastra, who is considered as a Vidwan? Not the Vakta. Bahushrut, who listens more, who follows what he listens. And listening takes you like Shravan, Manan, Chintan, Nididhyasan. These are the stages. You listen, then you start thinking about it. Does that make any sense? If it makes sense, how I can use that information to benefit me? And then you start implying that. And then if you are failing on that, you had firm determination that you are going to keep on trying until that becomes part of your life. So these are the stages. Shravan, Manan, Chintan, Nididhyasana. So in Navada Bhakti, first one it says Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Kirtan means singing. Outward world we say singing. In inner world they talk about Nada Brahma, inner music. There is a inner music goes on in all of us known as Nada Brahma 24/7. But we have forgotten how to tune the things on, and that's why we are not able to listen. But if you keep practicing, with the God's grace, we can hear that. And why that is so important? Because that music helps you to uplift, takes you towards a higher journey. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Vishnu means not Vishnu Bhagwan. That is definitely Vishnu. Meaning of Vishnu is Sarva Vyapak. That power which is everywhere. Just like, can you imagine anything out of the space? Space is encompassing everything, right? Jupiter and moon and earth and ocean, and you name anything, it's always in that space. So like that Paramatma is surrounding by, everything is within that. There is nothing out of the Paramatma. And then you recognize Isa Vasham Jagat Sarvam. That power is everywhere. So somebody asked me, is that power is also in the hell?
Yes.
And it is. Because hell and heaven is a state of mind. And if you go through that and you go beyond, the same power is there. So we, in Sanatana Dharma, we do not separate like, negative power is separate from the God or nothing like that. It's all our own impurity creates the problem. God is all pure, all present, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Okay? So, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam. Smaranam means keep remembering, sweet remembrance. And Pada Sevanam is not like you just go and touch his feet and massage his feet. That's the external factor. The Pada Sevanam meaning is sit at the lotus feet of the Ishtadev or Guru, and whatever his teachings are, try to bring in your life. Whatever he says, practice that. Agnya Palan. Learn and practice. Learn and practice. Because that is that Pada Sevanam. Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. So Das. You become like a Dasa Bhakti, like Hanumanji. Always you see Hanumanji sitting at the lotus feet of the Prabhu Ram. And if you turn the Das word backward, it's Sada. Sada means all the time. It's not just only when people are watching, it's all the time staying at the lotus feet of Paramatma and following his teachings, whether you like it or you don't like it. I like sometimes when people say, what would Jesus do? And I say the same way, same any situation, ask yourself, if my Guru or my Paramatma is there in this situation, what he will do or what he will ask me to do. And believe me, your Atma will give you the answer right then and there. And you follow that, okay? Because then your true Guru is within you. So that's that Dasya Bhav. Then Sakya Bhav. Because Dasya Bhav, when I talk about Hanumanji, let me tell you about Hanumanji. When Bhagavan Ram comes back to the Ayodhya, and when he's introducing everybody, he is Sugriv did this or he did this, and then at the end he introduced to Hanumanji and he says, he has done so much for me, even I am so grateful that I am not able to return his favor. And that's like biggest honoring Bhagwan can give to Hanumanji. So
Runi ho gaya.
Huh?
Runi થઈ ગયા.
Runi થઈ ગયા. કે એવું ઋણ કેવું કોઈ કે he says why? Because this is the Kapil, wherever I ask him to go, he goes without any hesitation. Lakshman is murchit ho gaya, go and bring this. He brings the whole pahad. And he never said anything like he won't do it. He's always there and giving his service. And actually that Hanumanji is nothing but Bhagavan Shankar. Right? And this is like the Rameshwaram, Ram ke Ishwar is Shankar, and Shankar is becoming. So what this message is, they are all same. Don't waste your time on fighting who is better than this or that, because that will take you away from the God. See the unity, see the common things and follow. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, and last bhakti, these all 8 parts are Apara Bhakti, because they are the sadhan, they are not the sadhya. The sadhya is Atmanivedanam, knowing who you are and surrendering your Atma to Paramatma. That's the Parabhakti. So in Navada Bhakti, what I think is 8 are Apara and 9th one is Para. And the same thing in the Rama Bhakti, you will see the same thing. And in life, understanding that Bhakti is a common, we all have that, just we need to direct in the right direction. First, we all love I remember when I was a little boy, my obsession with that, the bottles, when they take the things. We used to play with that. We used to create that things, Remember that? And then cigarette packet, whenever people throw, then we'll stack and we'll try to break them, and we're so possessed. That was our possession. And we take so much pride in that. I had this side, you have that. And we didn't know that. And then our material attachment changes as we grow. But as our love develops from material, we respect more the living thing. You'll respect more your parents, your kids, your loved one, your friends. So the same attachment, see how it's changing? But there is a price to pay. But once you understand, that's not the end. We have to take towards the Shraddha, and then you have to take towards the Sharanagati, the complete, ultimate goal of Bhakti. And Bhakti has power. I'll just end with this. Even the Bhagwan, once Naradji was going in Vaikunt, this is what I heard, and Dwarpal stopped him. He says, I can see the, Naradji says, I can see the Bhagwan anytime. He knows I'm his best bhakta. And why you are stopping? He says, Bhagwan has given the order, nobody is allowed. He will tell people are allowed. So he says, why? How long I have to wait? He says, you have to wait. So he waits, because he waits for the bhakti, and then Bhagwan comes, gives his darshan. And now Naradji has curiosity. He says, what are you doing? Why you didn't allow me to come to you? He says, I was doing the dhyana. So then he says, you were doing the dhyana of whom? He says, I was doing the dhyana of my bhaktas. So, see, this is the secret line. There are other things. So, in Hindi we say, Rakho kisi ko dil mein, baso usi ke dil mein. If you create the place in your heart for Almighty God or your Guru, the next thing happens, you sit in their heart. Because that's how you connect. And I pray sincerely today that we all are devotees, we are all on the path of spiritual journey, and we pray Almighty God that it will pull us more and more with His love towards that power, and that power will help you to be successful in this world and the inner world and the world beyond. So we should always cultivate that. And now I'm going to bribe my little kids with something, and we'll start the bhajans. Okay, so this is how we'll end. Bhikkhubhaya, I request you to have some bhajans.
संकट में हरि नारा तरि करुणा कोई पार नहीं भल चोर कछोर ताए तू मावी तरि कहवाए मीठी छाया दे नारा तारी करुणा नो कोई पार नहीं हे करुणा ना कर मारा संकट ने हरनारा तारी करुणानो कोई पार મને જડતો નથી કિનારો મારો ક્યાંથી આવે યારો મારા સાચા કેવનહારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી હે કરુણાના કરનારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી છે ભક્તનું દિલડું દાસી તારા ચરણે લે અવિનાશી મારા સાચા કેવનહારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી હે કરુણાના કરનારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી હે શંકર પિનાક પાણી તને સુસમજ્યા જ્ઞાની જાણીને ઝેર પીનારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી હે શ્રી ગંગાધર નારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી તમે ત્રિપુરાસુરને મારો ભૂમિનો ભાર ઉતારો અદ્ભુત ઘટના ઘડનારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર નથી હે કરુણાના કરનારા તારી કરુણાનો કોઈ પાર नदी के जल से नदी मिले सागर में सागर मिले कौन से जल में कोई जाए ना रे ताल मिले नदी के जल में नदी मिले सागर में सागर मिले कौन से जल में कोई जाने ना रे ताल मिले नदी के जल में सूरज को धरती तर से धरती को चंद्रमा धरती को चंद्रमा पानी में दीप जैसे प्यासी हर आत्मा प्यासी हर आत्मा उम्मीदवारे पानी में दीप जैसे प्यासी हर आत्मा बूंद छुपे किस बादल में कोई जाने ना रे ताल मिले नदी के जल में नदी मिले सागर मिले कौन से जल में कोई जाने ना रे ताल मिले नदी के जल में अनजाने होठों पर तू पहचाने गीत है पहचाने जीत है कल तक जो गाने थे जन्मों के नीत है जन्मों के नीत है उम्मीदवारे कल तक जो गाने जाए ना रे ताल मिले नदी के जल में, नदी मिले सागर में, सागर मिले कौन से जल में, कोई जाए ना रे ताल मिले नदी के जल में।
पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री परमात्मने नमः। हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री सद्गुरुदेवेभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम तत्सत्।